You know what time that is, folks. You betcha. It's time for another Noon Whistle. I'm Chris Trottier.
And I'm John Anzalone, and we're here with owner-operators of Wausau Homes, Greg Ingersoll,
Hello.
Julia Ingersoll, and Ross Ingersoll. Ross and Greg, graduates, alumni of Elkhorn Area High School. Greg was an 86, and Ross was a 2017. And Julia, just down south where it's warm by the lake, was a Faith Christian grad at 1986. So welcome, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. It's great being here.
Yeah, pleasure to have you guys. You guys are such pillars in our community and do so much, in not only with the school, but for so many people. And yeah, we're glad that you could take the time and close your doors for a little bit to spend some time with us.
That's always a challenge. We got so many calls and people knocking on our doors. That's a good place to be right now. We're super blessed.
Sounds like it. That's awesome.
Yeah. So how did you guys get involved with Wausau Homes? I know, Greg, you've been a builder for a while, but how did this all come about for your family?
So I started building in 1990. Actually, I opened my first business just a few years after I graduated high school. And same year we got married. And in 2016, Wausau Homes contacted me, and they were looking for somebody to represent their business in Walworth County, and kept asking around local chamber of commerce. My name kept popping up, so they tried calling me and made contact in August of 2016. And after a few months of vetting each other, seeing if this was going to be a good fit, I couldn't see any reason why not to partner with this company. They've got extremely good core values, the same as mine, and they're a family-run organization. They're just a large organization. And so we just kept walking through open doors, and doors kept opening up, and it worked out, and we opened up in 2017. So it's been a ride. You know, it's certainly a journey and not easy opening up a new business like this. But it's getting traction and working out pretty well right now.
So you actually have an office and a showroom at 206 East Walworth Street, correct? Where people could come in and look at product or styles or things like that?
Correct. Yeah, this is what we call our design studio. We do all of our office work here. Julia's got an office here, Ross does, and myself. And we meet with our clients here. We have, you can see kind of behind us, a small display of cabinets and fixtures and whatever. It's kind of a one-stop shop for clients to be able to come in. And then we use local businesses on things that we just don't supply here in-house. And so, but we do all our design work here and in our meetings and it's a great opportunity for us to be right in town, open up for local people to come and go and have a storefront here in Elkhorn.
Well, I know, Julia, you keep everybody in line, but Ross, what's your role there?
Yeah, so basically, I am big in the design here in the office, and I help recreate what's on paper and put it into the computer, and then we send it off to a structural engineering team to put in the blueprints, and then I'm also big out in the field as well with the guys doing miscellaneous things out on the job sites. And then I'm the next house that we're going to build, I'm going to step into a project management role for my first house. So I'm excited to do that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, I'm fortunate enough to, and thanks to Greg and Julia, they took our youth build up to the Wausau Homes in Wausau. So, but for everybody, not everybody knows what's the difference between, a Wausau home and maybe another design and construction model. Do you want to give the viewers and listeners a little insight into how that differs and what that looks like?
Sure. We're a stick-built home, and we just have stick-built, meaning a stick is a 2x4 or 2x6. In the industry, we're just called a stick-built home. We put our sticks together inside our factory as opposed to out on the job site. And they create wall panels, so they have 70-degree temperature year-round, and they're working standing up as opposed to bending over on their knees or working out on job sites in the weather, whatever we have here in Southeast Wisconsin. And so we get the best of the best when it comes to materials, because there's some automation involved, and yet there's people in a 7-acre facility that they're constantly working in perfect conditions with the perfect materials and putting our wall panels together. In the industry, we call this panelized construction, and each wall is considered to be a panel. And so they assemble one wall with all the 2x4s, pick it up, put it on a truck, build the next one and the next one until all of our walls are built and our flooring sections are built and our trusses are built right in the factory. And when at the same time we do the site work and get the foundation ready, prepping our site. When we're all ready and we've coordinated everything with Wausau, they show up with semi trucks full of walls, trusses, flooring sections, stairs, and it takes us a couple of days at most to actually frame our house on the job site. So we're ready to put roofing on
Fascinating.
free. So
What's the start to finish time normally? I know it can vary depending on different elements, but what's the Wausau, like, here's our window we usually try and hit?
we've done some houses in 3 months to the day, start
Wow.
to finish. And other houses just take longer because they're bigger. We can literally build any house that somebody wants to, walk into our design studio and design with us. So like anything, the bigger the house, the more detailed the house, the longer it takes. But we're generally on average between 5 to 6 months for most of our homes, in the range of 15 to 2,500 square feet, for that size of a home, anywhere 5 to 6 months, and we're start to finish done.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
The facility is amazing. It could be a noon whistle in itself and take longer than 15 minutes, because when you see a guy standing there cutting 2x4s that are labeled and stamped for a house, and then they literally go down to the next guy and he's framing walls, and it goes down to the next guy and piece of equipment that puts the sheeting on. Then it goes to the next guy who's stacking it, preparing it. I mean, it's like it is an impressive operation. Climate control, it's amazing, and it's custom home building too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to shift gears, not to minimize that, but I want to shift gears because you guys do some amazing things within the community. Like, you're a true community partner. I know, Julia, you and I are on the ambassador group for the chamber, and I always see you welcoming new businesses and new people to town, and your involvement with the schools. I guess, like, give us some insight on some of the things you've done in the community and the schools, but also, like, what's your why behind that? What's your why as a business to go, this is important?
Sure. Well, before I came to work for our business, I had an 11-year career in the nonprofit industry. And so that was really my culture when, prior to coming to work for our own business. And so that's just my mindset. And so when I came and started working for our own business, at the same time, I was also on the school board, and I just really have a passion for giving back. And so does Greg. I mean, that's both of our passions. It's just happened to be part of my career for a lot of years. So I wanted to bring that same culture into our business. And I happened to be friends with Erica Card, and she started talking about, this was probably back in 2019. She started talking about, her class that she was teaching at the 6th grade level, the green architecture class. And I was like, well, we're looking for a way to get involved in the school. How could we partner together? And so out of that came, really a long-term relationship that we've built with the middle school, and working with Erica and Steve Fisher to partner with them in their green architecture class and have the kids actually get hands-on experience and exposure to building and the trades at a young age when they're still really impressionable and still kind of figuring out who they are and what they might want to do in the future, and just trying to give them exposure to different things. And Greg has a heart for teaching. He's really, really good with the kids. So he physically gets in there and teaches the kids how to use power tools and frame walls. And it's been cool.
So your first project with the school, if I remember right, was a playhouse that was auctioned off, and I don't remember who the proceeds went to.
Yeah. So that was a really cool project. We built, yes, you're right. We built a playhouse. We then donated the playhouse to New Beginnings here in Elkhorn, which assists people in domestic violence situations. So New Beginnings, I happen to also be on a steering committee at that organization at the same time. So there was a connection there. And they took the playhouse and then sold raffle tickets for it. We were able to raise $5,000 through the raffle ticket sales for the playhouse. And then the person who won the raffle ended up being a teaching assistant over at the Walworth Elementary School. And so she donated to the Walworth Elementary School. So it just was kind of a full circle story. The sixth grade kids in Elkhorn ended up building this really cool playhouse for kids at the Walworth Elementary School, and then a charity got to benefit from it at the same time.
Yeah, awesome.
And so Project 2 got a lot bigger.
Project 2 was actually during the COVID years.
Perfect.
And that was the blessing boxes, and it was a big project, but it ended up spreading out over 2 years because of
it's still going on, because we're finishing another one, and maybe another one here in the very near future. So Ross, put that on your plate. We're finishing another and it's going to take place in Walworth County. That
literally top down on the screen. So
you did, you've just been voluntold.
Oh,
yeah. So wait,
the third project, John.
Yeah. So
the third one got even bigger.
Yes.
Which was the outdoor classroom behind the middle school, right?
Yeah. And that really ended up being a community event, of collaboration, because while we coordinated it and Greg was the one out there teaching the kids how to frame and build, and we had 52 kids involved in this last project, which was fantastic.
We brought in community partners.
We brought in community partners.
Josh Mazatko for concrete, and
Adams Power did the solar, and the Kiwanis donated $10,000 toward the project. And it really became a big community project.
Yeah. But don't cut yourself short, because you guys were the nucleus behind that
drivers
partnership with the school, and you kind of drove that, and other people said, hey, we want to get involved too. And I think, thank you guys for that. And thank you guys, for all those things you do and all those partnerships, whether it's community, school, or whatever it is. I would encourage people, like, if you haven't been down to see your design studio, then I would say stop in and check it out, because it's really neat, and there's a lot to look at and a lot to see, and things that people might not even know you can put in your home, or things you can do. Yeah. And it's a family affair, and you guys are a great family and really invested in the community.
Hey, Ross, I did have to ask you, what's it like adulting now? Is that fun?
Oh, it's a whole new adventure.
we get excited to do it, and then when we're there, we're like, it wasn't so bad, right?
When he's in the office, he still goes to our house to eat lunch, though. So he eats all of our leftovers.
It just means he's really smart. He's financially responsible.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, we've got to come. We appreciate everything you guys do, and Julia, thanks for being a great board member and being committed to school district, and Greg, everything you do, and Ross, we're so proud of you for, what we Coach Anzalone and I have had the opportunity to see you grow and be turned into the man that you are and the person you are. So thank you to everybody. And As we come close to the end of our time, we always give the opportunity for shout outs and thank yous. So we're going to, Greg and Julia, any shout outs or thank yous?
I would love to give a shout out to Erica Card and Steve Fisher at the middle school. They have been so great to work with. Yeah, it's been a pleasure working with them as a team. They've been super accommodating to us and the kids, and we love their passion for wanting the kids to get this kind of experience.
That's awesome.
It's
Ross, what
amazing
about you? Shout out, thank you.
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay. Well, thanks. Yeah, that's all right. Well, thanks, Coach Anzalone, for all his guidance.
Yeah.
That's right.
John, what do you got? Anything?
You know, I think I gave my thanks already. I got a little crazy on the Ingersolls here and thanking them for everything, and just being great people and great business people. So I'm gonna stick with that.
All right. Well, I got a shout out and thank you to and Julia, you kind of prompted me to think about this, to all the nonprofits out there who work tirelessly to help out and commit. And I think, you know, John, you and I are fellow Rotarians, so I just wanted to thank the Rotary Club for all their hard work in the community. And on that note, it's about that time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
This has been
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.